Teachers cycle across Australia to raise awareness against suicide. Evangelism through television grows in Colombia and reaches thousands of people. Award-winning short film puts Adventist University in the United States on the map of international animation. Amid war, young Ukrainian finds answers on TikTok and decides to surrender his life to Jesus. These stories and more on ANN. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, cultural traditions and domestic violence are increasing the vulnerability of women. Humanitarian initiatives have sought to give voice to the victims and offer paths to reconciliation.
My name is Hannah Ndungo, the Director for Emergency Management in ADRA Africa. I started working in ADRA in 1997. The work I have been doing in ADRA has been very fulfilling, especially working with women and children in conflict countries and where they are facing disasters. Seeing the change that is happening to them, that has been motivating me to continue serving in the mission that God has called us to work as ADRA. And when you get on the ground, you see the impact, seeing people feeding, seeing children being immunized, and having shelter for those who are displaced. That has been quite fulfilling. There are many experiences that I've encountered in DR Congo when working with women in a program where we were advocating for women to voice their concerns, where this woman should give birth every year, and she was facing abuse from the husband. And because of the cultural issues that were behind these issues, she was not able to express it to anyone within the community. As ADRA, we were able now to approach different influencers in the community and to address the issue in a more dignified way so that this family could reconcile. This was resolved, and this is something that still remains memorable in my work in ADRA. My ADRA, my story is to be a voice to the vulnerable and marginalized women.
In southern United States, students from an Adventist university have caught the attention of the international scene with a short film. The work, yet to be released, has already received awards at festivals.
An academic production has put Southern Adventist University on the map of the global animation industry. Students from the animation and music programs at the university, located in the state of Tennessee, joined forces to create Deep Space, a short film that has already received 2 international awards before its release. The film tells the story of Juno, a boy who faces the unexpected on a space mission and needs to learn to deal with the unknown. The soundtrack was composed by students and recorded live with the Campus Symphony Orchestra, following professional industry standards. The project was born in a class that simulates the audiovisual market. Instead of working only with classmates from their own program, the students decided to integrate art and music. The product has already gained recognition outside the United States. The short film was selected by 4 festivals and won in the categories of Best Original Soundtrack and Best Animation Debut. The official release is scheduled for 2026. The initiative marks a new stage in the university's involvement in creative projects with international standards.
Now, let's go to Colombia, where Seventh-day Adventist Church television programming is reaching millions. Even without a national channel, the content is already producing concrete results with prayer requests, Bible studies, and new Adventist members.
With over 52 million inhabitants and facing social challenges such as violence, mental health crisis, and spiritual disillusionment, Colombia has witnessed a growth in the evangelistic outreach of the Seventh-day Adventist Church through television. Since 2024, the Hope Colombia initiative has been airing 2 weekly programs with biblical content on its main national networks. It is written, presented by Pastor Robert Costa, is broadcasted during primetime slots.
Friend, do angels really care about us? Absolutely, they do. They are specifically assigned to help and protect us. Jesus mentioned that each person has an angel looking out for them.
Another program aired on free TV is Messages of Life, with Pastor Henry Beltran, president of the South Colombian Union. When we conquer fear with the love of God, we find a freedom and peace that only He can provide. Our lives are no longer ruled by fear. Instead, we trust that God is in control and that nothing can separate us from His love. The programs are broadcast on City TV and El Tiempo television networks and have already reached over 3 million views just in 2025. The audience response has been direct. Hundreds of people have reached out requesting prayer, Bible studies, or spiritual support. Many of these contacts have resulted in baptisms and integration into local churches. The Salamanca Suescun family is one that has been impacted by the Hope Colombia initiative. While seeking spiritual guidance, they found answers through the Hope Colombia programs. This led them to engage in Bible studies and accepted the biblical truths they learned. Another couple, Said and Maria Ileana, also found hope watching the programs and decided to commit their lives to Jesus. Every message the Hope Colombia team receives is followed up by individuals that pray, guide, and connect the person with a nearby church. Technology also supports this. Through WhatsApp, the Esperanza chatbot offers over 15 free Bible courses with a digital certificate. According to Seventh-day Adventist Church leaders, the programs on public television are attracting a loyal audience among people who do not usually attend churches. Despite limited resources, the project's expansion has been sustained by an active network of volunteers and the growing interest of the media in providing religious content.
At Avondale University College, alumni demonstrate that education, leadership, and practical faith remain relevant today.
More than 800 people attended the Homecoming 2025, the traditional annual reunion of former students of Avondale University in Australia. Alumni from 7 decades returned to the campus, including representatives from the class of 1955. The program featured tributes, live music, and messages on social impact, inclusion, and mental health. Among the highlights of the event, Dr. Brendan Pratt, Alumnus of the Year, is the new president of the administrative headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church for the Australian region. He serves as a leader and pastor in secular contexts. Dr. Dawn Grant Skiba, Alumna of the Year, works with the inclusion of children with disabilities and has completed a doctorate in education. Anna Lindbeck, Young Alumna of the Year, is a teacher and participates in a national cycling campaign for suicide prevention. The event concluded with a Christian music concert, bringing together volunteer musicians in a moment of celebration and remembrance. Leaders, teachers, and alumni were also reminded of the commitment from their student days to use their knowledge to impact the world.
There's a really unique irony when it comes to well-being. The best thing that you can do for yourself and your personal well-being is to do something for someone else.
To look at the needs of the wider world and to do something about it is probably the most meaningful life you can have.
Think about what you can contribute, what you can give, and you'll be surprised what you actually have that you can do for another.
We have all of these social problems that need to be solved, and it is a completely legitimate thing to believe that you can change something in the world.
The National Congress of Colombia honored the Seventh-day Adventist Church with one of the highest distinctions of the country. The recognition acknowledges over a century of social, humanitarian, and spiritual work.
In a ceremony held in Bogotá, the Colombian Senate awarded the Seventh-day Adventist Church the Order of Merit for Democracy at the rank of Grand Commander. The tribute highlights over 100 years of work in education, health, social action, and spiritual support to the population. Adventist church leaders in the country were present, including Henry Beltran, president of the South Colombian Union, and Gonzalo Cardona, secretary of the North Colombian Union. During the event, 300 personalized Bibles with digital Bible studies were given to parliamentarians. This action reinforces the church's commitment to the spiritual and emotional health of society. With over 273,000 members in Colombia, the Adventist Church maintains schools, universities, medical centers, and an active presence in the media and community service. This is the second time in 5 years that the Congress pays tribute to the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
In Australia, 4 Seventh-day Adventist teachers are facing a unique challenge. They will be cycling over 2,500 miles from Perth to Sydney. The goal is to raise awareness and funds for mental health and suicide prevention.
Louise Jin, Anna Lindbeck, Sonia Allam, and Rachel Beeden departed from Scarborough Beach in Perth towards Bondi Beach in Sydney. The journey is expected to last 6 weeks, with daily segments of 50 to 112 miles on a 4-seater bicycle, the first of its kind in Australia.
We chose a quad tandem bike. I think one, it's like just a pretty outlandish. It's like, whoa, and it really draws attention. Like you can see it in people's faces when they see you roll in. And I think, you need something that kind of wow these days to really draw attention and be able to raise, such lofty goals like 500,000. And I think a quad tandem is the way to do it. It draws people's attention and it's crazy enough that people will take notice.
The initiative is called Ride for Life. The goal is to raise 500,000 Australian dollars for Gotcha for Life, an organization that promotes resilience and connection programs in schools, businesses, and communities. The 4 teachers aim to draw attention to alarming statistics. 9 Australians take their own lives every day.
It's actually about raising awareness in the community that we lose 9 people every single day in Australia to suicide, and that we need to actually open up people's ability to have conversations in regards to connection and vulnerability, and that this is really important. And it's actually becoming a really lost skill, I think probably because of social media, taking away the ability to really communicate on that deeper level.
3 of the participants, teachers trained at Avondale University, state that their classroom experience motivates them to support a cause that directly impacts youth and their families. They see the journey as a way to bring hope and encourage the value of life, reinforcing the importance of caring for one another.
4 women, 1 bike, 4,000 kilometres to end suicide in Australia.
ADRA is the official humanitarian agency of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. For over 40 years, ADRA Canada has been working with local communities and operating in over 120 countries, providing emergency assistance and programs that help eradicate extreme poverty. The following video highlights the actions taken during the years 2024 and 2025.
For over 40 years, ADRA has served as the humanitarian arm of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Our mission is to demonstrate God's love, compassion, and justice by reaching out to people suffering from poverty, hunger, and despair. We partner with communities in Canada and over 120 countries worldwide, delivering emergency relief and programs that help end extreme poverty. ADRA achieves these goals by focusing on 4 pillars of service. When disaster strikes, it leaves people homeless, helpless, and in shock. Victims of natural disasters receive immediate assistance from trained ADRA staff. Emergency food, water, shelter, hygiene kits, medical care, and psychosocial counseling help people survive. Over 1 billion people are trapped in low-income employment as day laborers in fields and factories. About 700 million people work for less than $3 Canadian per day. ADRA provides skills training, startup loans, and small business coaching. People catch the vision of working for themselves and quickly devise ways to increase their income. Now able to provide better food, health, and education for themselves and their children, they break through the cycle of poverty. One of the best ways to increase a sense of well-being is to improve overall health. ADRA provides simple, practical ways for whole communities to enjoy better health. Sanitation through pit latrines provides a significant reduction of disease. Water purification reduces diarrhea-related illness. Health education improves diet and nutrition and reduces disease and addictions. ADRA strongly believes in the transformative power of education. When children get a good education, it not only improves the quality of life for them, it elevates the whole community and nation. ADRA seeks to uplift lives through inclusive education, teacher training, and skills training for out-of-school youth. ADRA Canada is sensitive to growing needs right here at home. Working together with conferences and churches, ADRA is building a national program that is serving the homeless, the hungry, single moms, refugees, First Nations, and people displaced by natural disasters and wildfires. Last year, thanks to your support, ADRA Canada assisted 28 emergency projects, helping over 3 million people get through their time of crisis. 19 projects of community-based development helped 272,000 people get a hand up to a better, healthier, happier life. In Canada, 88 projects served close to 45,000 people living in need. Of the total funds raised last year, 92% went directly to projects that served and uplifted humanity and helped people live as God intended. Thank you for your support of the ministry of ADRA.
A young Ukrainian discovered faith through social media. Short videos on TikTok sparked his interest in the Bible and led him to the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
The young Omelyan Vysokansky from the Lviv region in western Ukraine began to take an interest in inspiring messages on social media. Initially, it was just short videos and quotes that caught his attention. Over time, he decided to delve deeper into studies and seek out a nearby Seventh-day Adventist community. There he found support and fellowship. And today he is preparing for an important personal commitment that reflects his journey of growth and learning. Omelyan's story shows that social media can be the starting point for a spiritual transformation, and that the gospel message continues to reach hearts in unexpected ways.
This year, ADRA Peru celebrated 60 years of providing humanitarian aid and hope to the country. Volunteers lead service projects, inaugurated the renovated headquarters, and reaffirmed their commitment to the community.
ADRA Peru celebrated 6 decades of continuous service. The event was attended by national and international leaders, volunteers taking action on the streets of Lima, and the inauguration of its renovated headquarters. Volunteers collected food and renovated the La Candelaria Community Kitchen, benefiting dozens of vulnerable families. Over 300 people participated in the gratitude ceremony, including local authorities and representatives from partners such as UNICEF and the World Food Program. During the celebration, a commemorative book was launched that tells the agency's journey and its main projects in Peru. The renovation of ADRA Peru's facilities reinforces the organization's commitment to growing and planning projects that transform lives. 6 decades later, the agency continues to be present in communities throughout the country, offering support, dignity, and hope.
In Australia, Adventist Heritage has launched its historical collection of rare Bibles at Avondale University Church. The exhibition Legacy of Faith will tour churches and schools in the South Pacific.
The collection weighs about 3 tons and gathers Bibles in various languages. It started in Poland with Pastor Henryk Patriarcha in the 1970s. It includes rare and valuable editions, some over 500 years old. Among the highlights are a replica of the Gutenberg Bible and a unique Golden Bible in the world. The entire collection was transferred to Australia and now belongs to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the South Pacific region. The exhibition will be itinerant, taking the history of the Bibles to different communities and schools. The project plans to create a permanent Bible museum in the Southern Hemisphere, showing how the Bible influenced society and preserving its history for future generations. This was the original dream of the Polish collector, that through these Bibles, people would know the history of the Word of God and its impact over the centuries.
Diana's life had hit rock bottom after growing up in an abusive home and later experiencing her own cycle of violence. When she cried out to God for help, He answered in an unexpected way. A simple radio message completely changed the course of her life. Discover the story now.
For the people of Peru, hard work, perseverance, and deep-rooted family traditions are at the heart of everyday life. Amid the rugged, majestic beauty of this mountainous land, we find the true story of a woman named Diana. Diana's story was so compelling, we knew we had to meet her. Today, we find her at work fixing some leaky pipes, as she is a handy woman. She always seeks to share Jesus wherever she goes, but it wasn't always this way. As we sat down, she shared her story. The past weight of her childhood memories came flooding back. She relived her parents' volatile arguing, followed by beatings. The resulting emotional scars ran deep for young Diana. As Diana grew older, she made a vow to herself she would never let a man treat her the way her father had treated her mother. One day, Diana met and married a loving young man. Together they began their life, running a remodeling business. But to Diana's despair, her husband's violent tendencies gradually surfaced. Exactly what she swore she would never tolerate became her reality. She was trapped in the same destructive cycle she experienced as a child. However, Diana, unlike her mother, resolved to fight back against the abuse. Regretfully, the fighting became sad and disturbing for her own children to witness.
To avoid confrontation, I endured my husband's controlling behavior, but infidelity was a betrayal I could not accept.
When Diana left her husband, her struggles only got worse. Now, as a single mother with 4 children, life turned into an uphill battle. The pain seemed endless. As reality sank in, the emotional burden became too much. In a desperate attempt to numb her pain, she turned to alcohol, which quickly spiraled into full-blown addiction. Her father, attempting to lend a helping hand, gave Diana a space in his venue to start her own business. She chose to open a bar. It quickly became a haven for alcoholics, including herself. The noisy, destructive atmosphere caused complaints from neighbors. The environment of the bar deteriorated. She was pulled deeper into a pitfall of darkness. Her children began to feel the painful effects of impending doom. Her father pleaded, "Diana, please, close the bar."
My children begged me to get help, but I resisted. To me, seeing a therapist felt like admitting I was crazy.
After the dismal turmoil of another family argument, Diana reached for her usual drink. However, this time, something stopped her. As she looked at the bottle, frustration and despair overwhelmed her. For the first time, she questioned if this was a life she truly wanted, for herself or for her children. Then, Diana did something she had never done before. With quiet desperation, she prayed, "God, help me find you, please. I know I need to heal. Please help me." One day, while cleaning her house, she turned on the radio. Randomly, she tuned into a sermon by Pastor Bouillon on AWR's Nuevo Tiempo station. The pastor's words felt as if they were spoken directly to her. In her mind, this was a sign. She knew God was answering her prayers. Encouraged and excited, she made plans to visit the church, the one responsible for the messages on the radio. The day arrived when Diana, with excitement, told her children she was going to church for the first time. They were supportive. They had witnessed the positive changes in their mother's life since she began listening to AWR radio. As Diana arrived at the church, she was filled with awe and intimidation. The pastor's message struck deep within her heart. Following the service, she inquired about Bible classes. A friendly woman introduced her to a group tied to the AWR broadcasts. Once enrolled in a baptismal class, a date was set for her baptism. She chose the Sabbath closest to her birthday. Her family and neighbors were excited for her. The day after her birthday, surrounded by loved ones, Diana was baptized into the Villa Union Seventh-day Adventist Church. To this day, Diana remains a happy, devoted member, hosting a small group Bible study for her neighbors every Friday night and actively bringing friends to church. Diana's story is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest situations, Jesus can reach the heart and bring healing.
Thank you for joining us this week on ANN. You can find these and other news stories on our website, adventist.news. To learn more about the Seventh-day Adventist Church, visit www.adventist.org. Until next time, take care.